Yo guys, what's going on? Invin here. Today, what I'm going to be bringing to you guys is some secret tips from the upcoming Christmas or Winter Festival Convergence event in a tournament that are going to get you ahead of the game. Things that, of course, you want to be saving your tokens for, and like I did a video on a couple of days ago that you guys will see on screen here. Of course, this was on the best rewards to save up for, but this one is going to be on some sneaky, secret little tips that you might not have picked up on, and some things that I want to clarify for a few of you guys as well. So, of course, when you go into the Winter Convergence shop, firstly, these foods look bad. A lot of you guys picked up in the comments for me and told me that these are actually bugged tool tips, the incorrect text, and they actually scale off your level. So, essentially, what they will do is give you plus 33 to each of your stats that you have. So, for example, 33 strength on this Convergence cake here, once you are at level 60, which actually makes these food very, very good. And for a minimal 2 tokens, not even having to do the event, this could be something really, really good for some cheap alternatives to food, particularly for running things like Outpost Rush, maybe some expeditions that you're not particularly going for push times on, or if you're just wanting to run around, do some elite zones with some buff stats. These can be some really good ways to get it, because you're going to be picking up the presents, the Gleamite shards, all of that good stuff as you are going around a tournament anyway. So you might as well get yourself some decent food. Now, one of a really important thing to look at down here is, of course, the weapons, and specifically here, if you have a look into each of these weapons, they have luck on. Now, this is important because, of course, some weapons are harder to find luck on than others. Some you'll have an abundance of luck weapons. It depends how many elite zones and dungeons, etc. that you have done. But these ones do come with default 2.4 luck on, and that's across the board on each weapon. But more importantly, particularly why the sword is good is because, of course, if you've got this one with a 2.4% luck on, and then you have any shield that has 2.4% luck on, unfortunately, these ones in the shop here don't actually have luck on the shields, but they are fairly accessible. There's quite a lot of drops that do give luck shields in the open world. So my advice would be to buy these up prior to this update dropping, which, like I said before in previous videos, should be 14th of December. That's when this event is due to start. So I would assume the update will either be the day before that or on the day of the 14th. So that gives you guys, a few days, but as this video goes live, to be able to get some shield together that's got luck on. Use the sword and the shield. That's going to give you 2 pieces of luck gear. Obviously, you'll need to be using them when you kill stuff in order to get those procs, but then you can also go ahead and get all of the luck armor on. Now, again, the armor here doesn't actually give you luck. It is the corruption armor like I talked about before, but again, most armor pieces you can find on the AH will be fairly cheap, a couple hundred coins maximum for some pieces with some good luck gear. If you're running Void, that's already got luck on. Lots of things already do, so you can easily get a full set of luck gear with the sword or with any weapon, but particularly the sword and shield is a really, really good combo. Now, another thing that we've looked into with the patterns, and we've kind of had a little look at how these work, what is going to be the way that these actually do work is it's very likely they are going to roll at 600 gear score, which at first does sound very, very good, and is kind of a little bit broken, but what you will notice is it is an uncommon one. It's a green, which will mean that that's probably only going to have your attribute and then obviously the actual look of the weapon, meaning that you're not really going to be able to get anything too good. You're not going to have those skill perks on that you need with particularly those end game PvP and PvE builds, and particularly you're not going to have the gem slots, etc. that you really need to maximize a build. But do not overlook these, because one thing you will get from a 600 piece of gear is the stat being at that plus 30 level, which is really, really important, and for a lot of players can be a huge, huge boost, particularly if you're going to be going around doing some other stuff. You're going to be doing, for example, runs in PvE situations where you are literally just farming chests, or you're farming certain things. Maybe you want some extra stats for that. It can be a good alternative, not for all players, but for some players, this might be good. Now, another thing I wanted to touch on as well, for those of you that are interested in kind of like your housing score and such, I would imagine the festive toy rabbit is going to increase that by quite a lot, as the pets generally bring it up quite a bit, as well as some of these statues and other decorations throughout each of the tiers. So if you are looking for that, like I mentioned in the last video, there's some of those in each tier, and those are all going to be really, really cool to get your house score up. So if that is something you're interested in, then you can also tune into that. Now, one thing I wanted to touch on here from the Winter Festival landmarks is, of course, you can see here the winter village on the map. But what you might not notice is these are all next to shrines. So the one in Everfall here, there's a shrine just out to the left. And what you can also do from these locations, the winter villages, is actually fast travel back to town. So that doesn't even have to be a home location. I'm on the PTR, I don't have any houses or anything, and I can simply fast travel back there and be able to get to the town, which is a really, really cool feature. Now, all of these winter villages where they're located are generally nearby a shrine. You'll see that is the one in Braitwood there, the one in Weaver's Fen, and finally down here in Monarch's Bluff. You'll see they're all very, very close to a way shrine, so again, you can get back to these very easily, although you cannot directly teleport or click on to teleport to the winter village itself. They're a very short run away, and like I said, you can travel back to settlements from them or any other inn, house, etc. as normal, but settlements is the most important one because you don't even need a house to be able to travel back, and it's very, very cheap as of. So that is something to bear in mind as well. Not a lot of people have picked up on this, and it will save you a lot of time when you're going out and doing some of these quests, particularly as you get further up the quest chain in the Winter Convergence event. And finally, something small here that I just wanted to update you guys with is, of course, the tree and the trees that are in the center of every settlement. So this doesn't have to be a settlement that is connected to a winter village. All settlements will have these, and the magnificent gift pile is something we can go over to here. We can go ahead and interact with it, and it'll do the animation where you pick up a present. And as you guys will be able to see there, I've got the beautifully wrapped present instead of the lower tier one. And that is because if we go over to the town hall, you can actually upgrade your tree through the town hall here. So if we go inside, click on E on the progress board, and you guys will be able to see that the Tree of Light, you can upgrade this to tier 3 as a total one. So you can see it's tier 2, 100% upgraded to tier 3. So when that fills in the dot there, that'll be a secondary thing. Now, obviously, this is only the owning company of each settlement that can do this. So let's hope that people do get on it quickly. And let's also hope that it doesn't affect the taxes, because I know a lot of people will suddenly not want to do it for that reason. But I'm sure it's something separate that they're just having there so that we can actually go ahead and use that, upgrade it, and get better presents. And again, from this, when you open the presents, as you can see there, that one is tier 2. When you open this one, that is 3 winter tokens, which is really, really good. It's, you know, piece of the food, it's progress towards unlocking other stuff, and you can collect a lot of these really, really easily, as well as the presents out and about around the world, which you need 3 of those per 1 token. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed some of these little secret tips and tricks to get yourselves ahead of the game when the Winter Convergence event does launch, and hopefully some of these things maybe you didn't know about, you've learned something new here. If you have enjoyed today's video, please do be sure to drop a like on the video down below, as it really does help support me and my content here on YouTube. And if you are new to the channel, you want to see more new world content of any variety, I cover absolutely everything here on the channel, so make sure you are dropping a subscribe down below with the notification bell on so that you don't miss out on any future content. Other than that, guys, as always, thank you very much for your time, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow on the next video. Take care and peace.